So it looked like Caitlin Clark has made a different type of move before the start of this WNBA season. We've been reporting on it the last 2 days, how Caitlin Clark has been taking over the internet, and it don't look like it's finna stop now, man. Caitlin Clark has definitely made some moves, and it looked like the more recent move she made has made headlines itself. Today, articles has come out. Let's dive into this story right now, and let's not waste any more time, guys. So this article popped up today about 2 hours ago. Caitlin Clark makes unexpected move amid WNBA offseason.
The phone went dead, no warning, no PR statement, just a cold, hard block that sent shockwaves through the sports media world. Dave Portnoy, the man who stood on the front lines for Caitlin Clark since her Iowa days, found himself ghosted by the very superstar he defended. This wasn't just a glitch in the system or a missed connection. This was a calculated execution of a boundary that nobody saw coming. The golden girl of the WNBA just proved she is playing a different game entirely, and the rules of engagement have officially changed forever. The silence was deafening, and for once, the media had no response.
Caitlin Clark only played in 53 games, bro. 53 games. Think about all of the greatness she has done. It ain't even been that many games. So imagine how much gas Caitlin Clark still have in the tank. Now, the article goes on to say on Saturday, weeks before Caitlin Clark and the Fever began their preseason for the 2026 WNBA season, it was reported that she made an unexpected move. Barstool Sports finder Dave Portnoy revealed that Clark blocked him from calling her and texting him. Hold on, just the clip.
I have what I qualified as.
Imagine being the biggest advocate for a rising star, fighting her battles in the trenches of social media, only to be shut out completely. Dave Portnoy didn't just lose a contact, he lost his #1 relationship in sports that he described himself as an 11, or a 12, on a scale of 10 when it comes to being mad. This isn't just a petty spat between celebrities, this is about the most influential voice in digital media being silenced by the most powerful athlete in women's basketball. The message is loud and clear: if you cross the line, there is no coming back. It's a level of ruthlessness we usually only see on the court. Move.
Barstool Sports finder David Portnoy revealed that Clark blocked him from calling her and texting him. Hold on, just the clip.
I have what I qualified as. I preface it a couple minutes before the show that I had what I thought was a bomb, and it's directly related to Bosco.
Really?
And he said, "How mad are you?" And I said, on a scale of 10, I think I'm an 11 or a 12. Like, I'm really mad.
So he wouldn't tell me the bomb. I asked him on Takeover. I was like, "Do you want to tell me now?" He's like, "No, I want to."
So, and this is the truth. We're in Indianapolis. There's a WNBA team that plays here.
The details emerging from Indianapolis are nothing short of cinematic. It all went down at a dinner, where things took a sharp, unexpected turn. Portnoy, thinking he was just having a casual night out, ended up in a situation involving Clark's inner circle that blew up in his face. It involves the McCaffrey family and a phone call that should have never happened. When you're dealing with a superstar of Caitlin's caliber, your proximity to her circle is a privilege, not a right. Portnoy found that out the hard way when his screen turned that dreaded shade of green. The connection was severed before the main course was even served.
Against her and this Angel Reese rivalry. This is a shocking development to me, because this let me know Caitlin Clark don't care who you is. If she don't like what you're putting into the atmosphere, she's going to block you. Now, I don't know if she blocked them on social media, but let's finish watching this. Like, damn, I did not know that.
Not responding to me. Yes, it is.
How is it me?
You put the phone in front of me. I didn't even know who it was. I'm like, who is this? Because they're mad about Fran McCaffrey.
Wow.
You cost me a Caitlin Clark relationship.
It's a big problem. I don't know.
Wow.
She would be here right now.
Stephen A. Smith has been watching the saga unfold with his jaw on the floor, because this represents a massive shift in power. For decades, the media held the keys to an athlete's narrative, but Caitlin Clark just snatched those keys and threw them in the river. She doesn't need the traditional media machines to validate her greatness or protect her image. She is her own empire. When she blocked the founder of Barstool Sports, she wasn't just hitting a button on her iPhone, she was sending a warning shot to every journalist and influencer in the country. She is the one in control now, and the industry is reeling. Blocked me. The phone went to green.
Blocked me. The phone went to green. I DM'd her. No response. She always responds. You cost me my #1 relationship.
Are you kidding me?
I will get that back. No, you won't.
You will?
I'll work on it. We'll figure it out.
Because did you see what?
Not me.
Did you see what he did at dinner?
Yeah, well, it's all because Fran McCaffrey got ran out of town.
But then he put a McCaffrey in front of me on a cell phone. I didn't know who I was talking about. And he's like, I don't like what you guys have been saying about my dad. I'm like, who am I even talking to?
Right.
And then it went viral.
We also wouldn't say anything about Fran McCaffrey.
Nothing.
If it wasn't for him
Right.
talking about Ben McCollum being grass ain't greener. You know, you ran Fran McCaffrey out of town after 17.
Let's talk about the sheer audacity of this move during the WNBA offseason. Most players are looking for more coverage, more brand deals, and more eyes on the league. Clark is doing the opposite. She is curating her environment with surgical precision. She's only played 53 games in the league, yet she's already moving like a 20-year veteran who has seen it all. The stats are legendary: 18 points, 8 assists, and Rookie of the Year honors, but it's this off-court ruthlessness that is truly starting to define her legacy as the new face of professional basketball. She is building a fortress that no one can breach.
I've been to a game and back in Iowa, and they looked a little funny. They definitely gonna let their actions and their facial expressions show you that they don't rock with you. I seen it in action. The daddy, Caitlin, Mr. Clark, Mrs. Clark, and her brother. They definitely gonna look at you funny and let them know, hey, bro, we don't rock with you. Now, I can't say that happened to me, but that definitely happened to some people in Iowa, bro. So is this a thing? Is this for real? I believe it's for real. Oh, I believe this is hella real. My goodness, Dave Portnoy been one of the biggest advocates for Caitlin Clark.
Portnoy's frustration is palpable, because he truly believed he was in the inner sanctum. He's been there since the beginning, back when people were still doubting if her college success would translate to the pros. He went to war against her rivals, and stood up against the critics who tried to diminish her impact. To be cut off after all that loyalty feels like a betrayal to him, but in the high-stakes world of elite sports, loyalty to the brand comes before loyalty to the media. Caitlin is protecting her peace, and she doesn't care whose feelings get hurt in the process. This is the business of being a global icon.
Find that she's heading to Show Me Something. She's going to be the next guest, allegedly, on the podcast that is featuring Sophie Cunningham. That's what they've been saying. That's what rumblings has been. And I'm here to tell you, if that is the case, Sophie, you got to ask her about that relationship as an interviewer. And this is why in media is real hard to have personal relationships with players that you like and admire, because if you say the wrong thing, they're going to cut you off. They're going to cut you off. If they don't agree with what you say, they're going to cut you off. I'm telling you, I know.
The incident that triggered the block involves a confrontation about how the media handles family members. Apparently, a relative was put on the phone, and things got heated regarding the coverage of Fran McCaffrey. Portnoy admitted he didn't even realize who he was talking to at first. That kind of disconnect is exactly what players hate. They feel like their families are being used as pawns for content. Clark saw the disrespect toward her circle and didn't wait for an apology. She didn't call a meeting. She just hit the block button and moved on with her day. It was a swift and total termination of access.
Media is real hard to have personal relationships with players that you like and admire, because if you say the wrong thing, they're going to cut you off. They're going to cut you off. If they don't agree with what you say, they're going to cut you off. I'm telling you, I know this from experience, bro. My time covering Colorado, they will cut you off, bro. And that's what's crazy about it all, is that you really can't have relationships with with players and, you know, behind the scenes like that, because sometimes you got to call them out when they wrong. But in this
is the power move that has everyone talking. It's about total control. We are seeing a 24-year-old woman dictate the terms of her engagement with the world. She's not asking for respect, she's demanding it. If you can't treat her and her people with the level of consideration she expects, you lose access. period. It's a cold-blooded approach that reflects the intensity she shows on the court. That same Logo 3 energy is being applied to her personal life, and it is leaving some of the biggest names in the industry scrambling for answers. The era of the subservient athlete is officially dead and buried. People are calling it unexpected, but if you've been paying attention to her career, this is exactly who Caitlin Clark is. She is a competitor who hates to lose and refuses to be played. The fact that the phone went to green, meaning his messages aren't even being delivered, is the ultimate sign of a bridge being burned to the ground. There's no, "we'll talk next week" or "let's clear the air." It is a digital execution. For a media mogul like Dave Portnoy, being silenced like that is the ultimate nightmare, because he thrives on the back and forth. But Caitlin isn't interested in the dialogue anymore. Stephen A. Smith would tell you that this is a dangerous game for any other player, but Caitlin Clark isn't any other player. She is the golden goose. The WNBA's ratings, ticket sales, and cultural relevance are currently tethered to her every move. She knows her value. She knows that even if she blocks the biggest names in media, they are still going to talk about her. They have to. She has the ultimate leverage. This off-season power move proves she knows exactly how much weight she carries, and she isn't afraid to use it to protect her boundaries. She is the gravity that holds the league together. There are whispers coming through the grapevine about where she's heading next. Rumor has it she's about to break her silence on a podcast hosted by Sophie Cunningham. If that happens, it will be the ultimate slap in the face to the traditional sports media outlets. Choosing a peer's platform over a major network or a big-time digital outlet is a statement of solidarity with other players. It shows she wants to keep the conversation within the sisterhood of the league, rather than letting outsiders dictate the narrative of her life and her decisions. She is cutting out the middleman entirely, but let's look at the physical toll she has already endured. Reports mention she managed to put up Hall of Fame numbers while dealing with a severe groin injury during her rookie run. Think about the mental toughness required to navigate that level of pressure while your body is failing you, then add the constant media circus on top of it. It's no wonder she has a short fuse for anyone she perceives as a threat to her mental health or her family's privacy. She's been through the fire, and she's come out as a diamond. She has no room for unnecessary drama when she is fighting through pain. The Indiana Fever Guard is redefining what it means to be a professional athlete in the modern era. We've seen the greats do this in the NBA, but seeing a young woman in the WNBA exert this kind of dominance over the media landscape is unprecedented. She is essentially telling the world that she is the boss. The days of players being grateful for any scrap of attention are over. Caitlin Clark is the one providing the attention to the media, not the other way around. If you don't play by her rules, you don't get to play in her stadium at all. She owns the court, and the conversation surrounding it. Portnoy's jumpsuit story and the duplicate jersey drama might seem like small potatoes, but they point to a larger issue of familiarity. In the sports world, there is a very fine line between being a fan and being a friend. When media members cross that line, they often forget that they are still observers, not part of the team. Dave thought he was part of the story. Caitlin reminded him that he's just a spectator. It's a harsh reality check that has sent a chilling message through every newsroom in the country. No matter how much you support her, you are never above the standard she sets. This isn't just about a block, it's about a total shift in the ecosystem. Every reporter covering the Indiana Fever right now is walking on eggshells. They know that one wrong question, one insensitive tweet, or one awkward interaction with her family could result in being permanently blacklisted. This creates a level of pressure that we haven't seen in the WNBA before. The stakes have never been higher, and the margin for error has never been thinner. Caitlin Clark has effectively turned the media into her subjects, and she is the reigning queen. One false move, and you are out of the kingdom for good. Some critics are saying she's being too sensitive, that she needs to have thicker skin if she wants to be the face of the league. But those people don't understand the modern landscape. Why should she tolerate disrespect when she has the power to eliminate it? She is protecting her brand, she is protecting her peace. If a billionaire media owner can't respect her family, why should he have her phone number? This power move is actually a masterclass in self-worth. She's showing every young athlete that you don't have to tolerate toxic relationships just because they're supposedly good for business. The green bubbles are the ultimate symbol of the new era. It's the sound of a door slamming shut. Portnoy is left pleading his case on his own shows, trying to figure out where he went wrong, while Caitlyn is likely in the gym preparing for the upcoming season. She isn't checking for his response, she isn't waiting for an apology, she has moved on with the cold efficiency of a sniper. That ability to detach and focus on the work is what makes her so dangerous on the court, and it's clearly what makes her a force to be reckoned with off the court as well. She doesn't look back at the wreckage. We have to talk about the rivalry drama that was mentioned in the reports. The media loves a good feud, and they tried to manufacture one between Caitlyn and other stars. Portnoy was right there in the middle of it, stirring the pot for engagement. It made for great content, but it clearly took a toll on the relationships behind the scenes. Clark is signaling that she is done with the drama. She wants to play ball, and she wants her privacy. If the price of having a relationship with the media is constant chaos, she's decided that the price is simply too high to pay. She is choosing her sanity over the hype. This off-season crazy turn is exactly what the league needed to stay in the headlines, but maybe not in the way the league office intended. They want stories about growth and expansion, not stories about their biggest star cutting off media partners. But for the fans, this makes Caitlyn even more relatable. Who hasn't wanted to block someone who crossed a line? She's becoming a folk hero for a generation that values boundaries above all else. She's proving that you can be the best in the world and still stand up for yourself and your personal life. She is humanizing herself through her distance. Look at the stats one more time: 53 games. That's all it took for her to completely dismantle the existing power structure of the WNBA. Most players spend their entire careers trying to get 10% of the influence she has right now. She's used that influence to build a fortress around herself. No one gets in without her permission, no one stays in if they violate her trust. It's a level of discipline that is terrifying to those who rely on her for clicks and views. The Caitlyn Clark effect is real, and it is currently freezing out the giants of the industry. She is the gatekeeper of her own legend. As we head toward the next season, the big question is how this will affect her on-court performance. Will the media turn on her? Will the coverage become more hostile, or will they fall in line, realizing that she is the one holding all the cards? If she continues to drop triple-doubles and lead the Fever to victories, the media will have no choice but to keep singing her praises, whether they are blocked or not. She has created a situation where she is untouchable. It is perhaps the most brilliant strategic move of her entire career. Success is the best defense, and she has plenty of it to spare. Even her family is involved in this protective stance. They are her front line of defense. If you get a funny look from Mr. or Mrs. Clark, you know you're on thin ice. They are a tight-knit unit that hasn't let the fame change their core values. They aren't looking for Hollywood friends or media buddies, they are looking out for Caitlyn. This off-season power move is a collective decision to prioritize the person over the persona. It's a refreshing change in a world where everything is usually for sale. For Caitlyn Clark, her piece is not on the auction block, and she is willing to burn any bridge to keep it.I in the end. This isn't just about Dave Portnoy or a blocked phone number, it's a manifesto for the modern superstar. Caitlyn Clark has shown the world that she is not a product to be consumed or a puppet to be controlled. She is an architect of her own destiny. Whether you love her or hate her, you have to respect the way she has taken control of her narrative. The silence coming from her camp right now is louder than any interview could ever be. She's done talking, she's done playing games. The new queen of basketball has spoken, and the throne is hers alone. The game has changed, and she won.